This card took me about 15 minutes to make. And then this one took me a little bit longer. Same suite, same stamp set, but totally different results. I'm going to show you how to make this one. And by the end, you're going to know exactly what makes the difference between the two. Hi, everybody. I'm Karen Trelfa. Welcome to Stampers Club. So this card here, it started with a berry burst cardstock, a little bit of black outline matting, a nice white piece, a nice colorful strip of designer paper. This beautiful little floral die cut sits right on top. And this is actually a great card. So if you don't want to do things where it's a lot of work, a lot of layers, this is the card for you. Super simple, super clean. And it's genuinely a very pretty card. But let's talk about this one. When you layer in a few more elements, right? You got a whole lot going on there. So let me show you how to make this one. So this one started out with some pretty in pink cardstock. It's a half a sheet, scored at 4 1/4. Lost my bone folder. Well, since I scored this, we're just gonna kind of like burnish that edge right there. Then let me talk about the first element. This piece of basic white cardstock is embossed. I used the floral spray embossing folder. So there is technique number 1 on this card. Lots of depth and texture when that happens. I'm going to mat that on to that same black matting. So the layout of these two cards is identical, but we just have a little bit more technique going on in it, right? So let's get that put on there. And then we're going to add it to the card base. Get that added right into the center of the card base. Okay. Then we're going to add another layer. So I'm going to use some gold foil to give this a little bit more punch, right? So I'm going to add that strip of designer series paper over the top of the foil, just like so. Get that centered on there. That looks good. And then I'm going to add that to the card base here. So we're going to add this little bit of punch of texture by using the gold foil. So you just get a little bit more wow going on there, right? Okay, and then we're going to have some of the real special stuff. So this is some washi tape. So this is the washi tape, and I just put it on a piece of the white cardstock. But let me show you how this actually works here, right? So you can just pull this out, put it down on some white cardstock, and you're going to be amazed at what happens next, right? So now I'm going to use some embossing. We're going to bring in some embossing. I'm going to use my embossing buddy, because you want to make sure that your embossing powder doesn't stick to everything else. This kind of releases the static cling, right? Then we're going to get our stamp set, which this is Extraordinary Flora. That's what we're using today. So this is a larger background, so it's got lots and lots of space on here. And I'm going to use the Versamark ink. So Versamark is a clear, kind of a tacky ink. So this is what makes the magic happen on this. So I'm just going to get this all inked up. And you notice I have the block laying upside down because it's easier for me to put the ink pad to the stamp rather than the other way around. Okay. Now this is a clear photopolymer stamp, so we can see right through this and get this lined up. And look at how this whole stamp goes right over that washi tape, and you get the whole image at one stamp. I love that about this. Okay. Then we're going to add the gold embossing powder. So this is the gold wow embossing powder, and we're just going to sprinkle that across the whole paper. Get it nice and make sure I didn't miss any parts there. Oh, I missed that corner. You got to do that. Okay. And you just kind of pat it and it comes right off. Then you have to heat set this. So let me grab my heat gun. It's going to be a little noisy, but you'll get the hint. So I like to warm up the back of my paper a little bit. It kind of makes the embossing go a little bit faster. And then we're just gonna, I gotta hold on to it without burning my hands. So you're gonna see some magic happen here when this starts to melt. It starts to turn shiny. And we're gonna work our way across the piece of paper, and you're gonna see that shine happen. Let's keep going here. I don't, can you see any of that shine starting to happen on that paper? It's a lot, there's a lot of surface here, so it's gonna take me a second to get this all done. But you are going to be absolutely amazed at what this looks like. So this is technique number 2. This is called heat embossing. Super, super fun way to add some real elegance to your card. If you haven't tried heat embossing, you're gonna wanna try that. So the trick here is to make sure that all of it turns shiny. I'm gonna see if I can get this closer to the camera. I don't know if you can see the shine, but this part does not have shine and this part does have shine. So we just want to make sure that we get all of this melted. So it's like a dull color, and then once the heat melts it, it turns into a shiny color. And get that all done on there just like that. Okay, then we're going to get the die cut that goes with that. So this matches the Extraordinary Flora set. So it is a perfect die cut. Let me get my machine in here. This is always when it gets fun, when you want to put this on the camera. See if I can get this in here. So this will line up right over the top here. And you're just going to kind of like match it up, and it die cuts the entire image all at the same time. So one die cut, one stamp, one die cut. And we're going to get that run through the machine here. Get that. So it's all going to cut. You're going to love how this works because it is super, super, super easy. Okay, so you get this whole thing all at the same time, and you get all these beautiful little pieces. Like one die cut. Like, can you imagine having that many all at the same time? Just from one die cut. All right, so let me see which ones I want to use. Of course, this cuts out so many that you'll certainly be able to have some extra ones afterwards, right? But look at all of those beautiful pieces. Then we're going to bring our card back in, and we're going to start building it. I want to get, I think I want to get this one first, and I'm going to use double stacked dimensionals on this one. So I'm going to do 2. I'm going to put it down this way. So I'm going to do 2 dimensionals so that this is a little bit higher because I want to build that focal layer. I'm just going to put that one, let's just go like right about here. Get it right about there. And then this one, I'm going to put on 1 dimensional. Get 1 down there. And we're going to go like, I think I like this right here. Then I think I'm going to use this piece. Now, liquid glue is going to definitely be your friend here. If you don't use liquid glue on these tiny pieces, you are really going to fight with it. So you want to use liquid glue. And we're going to get a little bit of glue here. And we're going to tuck this one down underneath here. Right? And then I want this one here with the 2 little rosebuds. Same thing. A little bit of liquid glue. And I'm going to put it underneath this way and just get those little rosebuds there. Then this one, this leaf here, I'm going to put on 1 dimensional. Get a dimensional on there. And I want to put that behind here. So we have a little bit more leaves happening here. Then I'm going to take this flower and I'm going to just put some liquid glue on that one and put it in that little corner there. Just kind of tuck it in there. And then this little leaf here, same thing, a little bit of liquid glue. And I'm going to tuck that back in behind that one just for some extra added color back there. And these are all extra. So these, you're going to have all these extra pieces to do whatever you want with on a second card. Super, super nice and easy to do that. I mean, so that's actually a beautifully layered card. Lots and lots with all that gold foil on there. Looks absolutely beautiful. All right, then I'm going to get a strip of basic white and the black ink. And how about if I get my glue put away? And we're going to get our greeting on here. Ooh, I just got that all over the place. And we're going to put that right there. Okay, put that on there. Scissors, we're just going to do a little bit of an angle on both ends. That's always an easy way to get anything done. Then I'm going to use a couple of mini dimensionals. Get a couple of those. And get that backing off. I'm going to put that over here on the little edge. Let it hang off a little bit. I like the extra character. And then we're going to add one more wow to this card with some petal pink, or this is actually not petal pink, it's Barely Blush. I guess I even gave you the wrong color there. That's Barely Blush. This is one of the brand new in colors for this year. So I do my bows with 2 bunny ears, and then I tie the 2 loops together. And then we pull from the center to get our loops down to where we want them. And you can go back and forth and retighten this to wherever you get the right dimension that you want on your bow. So I want that bow a little bit smaller. Then we're going to get some scissors, do a little twist here, and then I'm going to use glue dot to put that on. And I like to push my glue dot to the ribbon to the glue dot so that I don't end up wearing it all over my fingers, because it tends to do that. And I'm just going to add a little bit of ribbon to that floral spray there, right in the middle. And that gives you that, like, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4th little technique there to really punch up that card. You get a lot more texture, but you get depth and texture from the embossing folder, from the heat embossing, from the gold foil, and this beautiful ribbon that showcases the whole thing and sets off the card. So let me bring back that comparison so that you can see what we did here. We have the exact same layout, 1 layout, 2 layouts. This one is a beautiful, clean, simple card. This one brings in a whole lot more techniques and brings it in very nice. And of course, if you want the full cutting list for both of these cards, they'll be on my blog. You'll want to pop on over there if you want the cutting instructions. And of course, the Extraordinary Flora bundle is definitely available to purchase. This bundle is absolutely beautiful to have, and you cannot imagine how many cards that you would be able to make with this beautiful washi tape. Of course, let me know in the comments if you like to keep things simple or if you like things with a little bit more detail and wow to them. I love hearing from all of you. Go ahead and share anything that you've made with the Extraordinary Flora suite too. That's always fun. And of course, I want to thank you all for stopping by and visiting with me today. I really, really, really enjoyed seeing you. And you guys all have a stamp happy day. Bye now.